Costanza. I need to go to the Brooklyn Cyclones game on August 19th and get a George Costanza marine biologist bobblehead because I have one right here. Jody and Tom, thank you so much. And Andrea and Steven, thank you so much for the sign, which we have to put up. We have not put up, but they got me a JD Talking Sports, drop the G. And thank you, Patrick, for becoming a subscriber to my YouTube page. You know, I'm very excited that, you know, Patrick said he would do it. He did it. He figured it out. I talked to Scott today. Scott, I started training in 1999. He ended up years later working at LA Fitness. He's been all over the place. He's in Florida with his mom. Happy birthday to your mom today. We talked today. Been friends for almost 25 years. It was so nice to talk to him today. Had a good couple of laughs. But this George Costanza, marine biologist, Kramer goes, Titleist? He had to take it out of the breathing hole, right, of the whale. That is a great episode. And now they're going to make a bobblehead at the game. I'm like, we have to go. I do. I love my bobblehead. It is awesome. We might be seeing Sharon Robb this weekend. It's not for sure. We're trying to see before Mother's Day. That is still up to be decided. And yes, a lot happening. What did I watch last night? I watched the Sixers kick some ass last night over the Celtics. Game 5. Celtics shot 12 for 38 from 3, which is not going to get the job done. And their backs against the wall. Read a lot interesting article. Marcus Smart said they have to run. Whereas the Sixers, Embiid and Harden, like to slow down the pace and everything. They didn't run enough. They didn't get enough turnovers. Harden is turnover prone. That didn't happen last night. They blew him out. We watched the second game. I was talking to the Nuggets, blew out the Suns, and it looks like the Chris Paul is going to try to make a go of it. Game 6. It was an interesting part of the game where the Suns they were doing a timeout on the court. So, of course, it's on the court. The Denver players were right around him, and Jokic was close. There was some pushing and shoving, and then KD, gave him pushed his arm, and Jokic did, I was talking to James with the flopping like in soccer, which I can't stand. He had a triple-double last night. He had his 4th of the playoffs, his 10th in the playoffs, which tied him with Wilt. And he made a comment on NBA Tonight that, where's Shaq on that list? Because Shaq said I never passed the ball. And we're going to see tonight what's going to happen. I mean, there's a lot of comments about, I saw this from Brick Muse. Devin Booker has more field goals in the last 4 games. This was before last game, 63. 63 made field goals than Julius Randle has made in his entire playoff career from Brick Muse. 61. 4 games. He had 28 last night, but they said Booker looked tired. 63 in 4 games. In 3 years of playoffs, Julius Randle has 61 made field goals. That is crazy. And make Knicks great again. NBA history, minimum 15 field goal attempts per game. Worst career field goal percentage in playoff history. Number 1 list is Joe Fulks, who was posthumously put into the Hall of Fame in 1978. He played for the Philadelphia Warriors. From 47 to 52, he shot 26% in the playoffs. Then from 47 to 50, Chick Halbert, he shot 27%. Now listen to these teams. He played for the Chicago Stags, Philadelphia Warriors, the Celtics, the Washington Capitals, and the Providence Steamrollers. And then tied for 3rd is Bellis Smalley, who played for the St. Louis Bombers from 47 to 49. And then he's at 32%. Tied with him is Julius Randle from 2021 to 23. He's at 32%. You have guys who played before my lifetime, even Bumbles. Well, Teddy's tied. This would be closer to Teddy. I got to ask Teddy if he remembers any of these names. But I love the names of Providence Steamrollers, the Chicago Stags, the St. Louis Bombers. And that's where Randle is on this list. I thought that was crazy, right? Come on, we're piling it on, but he does not play a lot of defense. He does not at all. And I saw Coach K is going to be an advisor, special advisor for basketball operations. His job starts with the GM meetings and the events surrounding the NBA draft. Think about this. He was coach of the national team. He was the winningest coach ever in college basketball. I'm not a Duke fan, but Ben, I hope you don't get upset at me because I saw Ben and Lucy yesterday, but I think he'd be great. And especially this in-season tournament, which I just think is stupid. I just think it's, even with the money, they brought up that there are a lot of soccer fans in the basketball, but even the top, you win 500,000. They said some guys get 500,000 every 2 weeks. Now for the guys not making as much, yes, but kind of like in the Champions League and the FA Cup in England, where it's 14 rounds, there's teams from 14 different, where it goes on forever. You'll get reserves play. You'll have a big Premier League team go play at a team that has 5,000, people seats at their stadium, and they have guys who have day jobs and they play soccer on the side. So there's a big discrepancy, levels of privilege. Yeah, levels of privilege, whatever you want to call it. Well, definitely economics and salary disparity, huge disparities. And that sometimes the top guys sit out, they rest, load management, whatever you want to call it. I just think an in-season tournament with the same teams. Now, I think if you bring in G League teams, I think that would be good. Maybe you bring teams from out of the country. Then it turns into something else. But you're just going to put teams that play each other anyway in the regular season and make an in-season tournament to make it more exciting? No. I think it's bullshit. I think it's another money grab. They think they're going to bring the fans in. As you can see, in these playoffs, which is kind of interesting, a 7 seed has never won an NBA title, which I thought, that's crazy. And the last time an 8 seed made it to the Eastern Conference Final, any conference finals, was the 99 Knicks, who ended up losing 5 games to the Spurs, which is kind of interesting because I think tonight the Heat is going to knock out the Knicks. And, it's, that's what they say. Like Marcus Smart said, this is it. If you don't bring it, then what's the point? And Julius Randle had some shitty comments. Bumble said he saw that. I agree with him. But, are you going to step up? And then I saw the new odds, and Philly has the highest odds to win it, then Denver, then Boston, then the Lakers, Miami, Suns, Knicks, and